The Korean Alpine Club's origins and roots might be considered by many to have started shortly after the climbers Jung-tae Kim, Ongum Kim, and Hong-sup achieved the first all-Korean technical ascent up a crack on the cleaner southeasterly side of Insubong Peak in 1935, known today as the Insubi route. Insubong Peak is located in the Bukhansan National Park in the northwesterly vicinity of Seoul proper. And only 2 years later, these three climbers went on to help establish the Baekmyang Alpine Club, of whom one of the three climbers, Hong-sup became the first president of the Baekmyang Alpine Club. During Imperial Japan's rule, Korea was considered a provincial territory of Japan and was named the Chosun province after Korea's final reigning kingdom of the Chosun dynasty. And subsequently, the Japanese on the peninsula named their climbing organization the Chosun Alpine Club. Upon Korea's liberation on September 15, 1945, members of the Baekmyang Alpine Club established our club, but also dubbed our club the Chosun Alpine Club too. Our first president was Seok Ha-song, and the Chosun Alpine Club was not renamed the Korean Alpine Club until after the formal establishment of the Korean government in 1948. The CAC has since then become the largest and oldest active independent alpine club in South Korea. Early on, the CAC embarked upon the survey, research, and exploration of Korea's alpine and coastal ranges, embarking on workshops for teens nationwide, and was then called the National Territory Investigative Project. The CAC also acted as the primary provider for alpine activities in South Korea during the 60s and has had an ongoing role in Korea's mountaineering development over the years. CAC members helped to form the Korean Alpine Federation in 1962. The KAF was granted corporate aggregate rights from the Ministry of Education in 1966, and like the CAC before them, the KAF later joined the UAAA in 1970. Both organizations played critical roles in the training and dispatching of expeditions abroad during a period when overseas travel was politically very hard to do. Both organizations issued passport recommendations for over 103 expeditions and sparked the dawn of Korea's golden age in high-altitude mountaineering. The CAC supports itself on donations and membership fees and acts as an affiliate to Korea's National Park Services. The KAF is subsidized by the Korean government and acts as the affiliate branch of alpine sport activities, and as a result of this, the KAF has successfully consolidated itself as the major single unifying body of almost all of the alpine clubs in Korea. The KAF not only promotes domestic alpine events and competitions, but is also very active with the IFSC, playing host to both major international sport and ice comps in South Korea. The Korean Alpine Club also proudly represents the oldest active formal climbing school, which first started in 1946. Our club sent its first wave of young climbers to Ensa in 1971 to learn the most modern ice climbing techniques at the time, and is solely responsible for spreading the practice of French techniques throughout Korea. Our school has also produced several climbers who have later joined overseas expeditions over the years. We warmly welcome the revival of our climbing school program last spring after a short 2-season recess. Our climbing school program runs every weekend for 5 weeks straight and includes all of the most basic skills from sport climbing to multi-pitch climbing. The program's goals are not only to help prepare beginner climbers learn basic all-around single and multi-pitch climbing skills and techniques, but also educate students on basic training in CPR, backpacking, navigation, provisions and camping management, environmental awareness, and even brief lectures on alpine history. Every program finishes off with a summit climb to the top of Insubong and back down for lots of food and jovial drinks afterwards. In 2011, our club initiated the Youth Korean Alpine Club programs and continues to run all year around with activities and camps in sport, rock and ice climbing, camping, canoeing, hiking, and ski camps. One of the highlights is our summer pilgrimage along the Baekdu-daegan. The Baekdu-daegan is our peninsula's central chi or life-nurturing mountain backbone or range. It runs from the Chinese border of Baekdusan Mountain and stretches its way south nearly 1,700 kilometers down through North Korea all the way to the southerly Shirisan Mountain. The pilgrimage takes roughly 2 months, running roughly 735 kilometers through South Korea. However, for our youth program, the teens spent 5 nights and 6 days and were led separately by our 10 provincial branches in their respective provinces. The UAAC programs integrate basic CPR training, focus on leave no trace practices, and other environmentally educational tasks in all the various programs. We are very proud of our recent success of playing host to this year's Korean, Chinese, Japanese University Exchange Summit program. The program first began in 2008 and has since then been held each year at one of the 3 countries' alpine settings. The 3 clubs rotate each year, and next year's program will be held in China. The program has been an ongoing joint program organized and provided by us together with the Chinese Alpine Association and Japanese Alpine Club for the past 6 years to develop our young adults, build healthy relations, and enjoy the outdoors together with our fellow neighboring countries. This year's program was held in northern Seoul's Bukhansan National Park for 1 week and included over 66 participants. The university students got the opportunity to practice and climb on some of Korea's finest granite with single pitch and multi-pitch climbs on Suninbong and Insubong peaks. They were also reviewed and instructed and monitored on the basic aspects of these styles of climbing on the 2nd and 3rd days. By the 4th day, several of our club's technical climbing committee members came out to bring all 66 participants up to the top of Insubong. Some of the routes included classics like Insu-B, Shinard-B, and the Ideikil route. To finalize the climbing activity, the 3 clubs' students participated in team bouldering and team leading competitions. Everybody finished off with prizes donated by this program's sponsors. Non-related climbing activities included being invited to a special banquet with the president of Hanyang University. The Korean Alpine Club and Hanyang University share a special connection with each other, where Korea's most influential climbing legends, Jonguk Sonu and Inmo Gu, came out of. The banquet included very impressive live traditional Korean acoustic performances, a brief campus tour along with an exquisite banquet dinner, and plenty of red wine to go around for everyone. The students also partnered up with each other and headed into downtown Seoul's more popular districts like Myeongdong, Insadong, and even the great Chosun Dynasty Gyeongbokgung Palace, with a small allowance to get them around provided by our club. The final dinner was held that same evening with a lot of Korean barbecued beef, alcohol, kowtowing, and laughter. The students were introduced to and given special disposable Ziploc human waste bags, solidifying gels, and specially designed cat hole shovels as part of one of the club's eco-project messages. This year's most prominent climbs by our club have included overseas expeditions on the northeast face of Ama de Blanc, Mount McKinley's Cassine Ridge, and the south face of Gasherbrum 5. The CAC also supported climbs to the Eiger, Mont Blanc, Yatsugatake, Amphu 1, and Longtong. Although Ama de Blanc's east face new route attempt was cut short at 6,300 meters, it was not considered a failure, but more of an example of how alpinism is changing in South Korea, despite the pressures to perform under external professional sponsorships. The summit climb of Mount McKinley's Cassine Ridge marked nearly 26 years since the CAC became the first Koreans to successfully summit its peak in 1988. Gasherbrum 5's south face first ascent marked Korea's finest alpine accomplishment this year thus far. The 2-man team climbed up in pure alpine style up the south face after previously failing via the east face. The climb challenged the two with an energy-consuming glacial approach, extremely unstable snow conditions, choppy rock sections, 19-hour-plus days, extreme dehydration, and a nearly nightmarish escape back to their bivvy site. The Korean Alpine Club strives to promote healthy relations with members of the other alpine enthusiasts in Korea and abroad through positive communication and activity. We are eager to work together with those who love the mountains as much as we do.